Hey, it's Steve Eimers. I previously shared with you a little bit of my why and how I got interested in Guardrail. I want to share with you a story that I think I can't explain a lot of what's happened. I've been at this for 6 years. YouTube is fairly new to me, but I've been able to share in a story and get amazing things done. Huge amounts, $100 million maybe in infrastructure investment, federal law, all kinds of different things. In this one story, though, I was headed into work. I live in rural East Tennessee. I have 10 kids, 30 chickens, a bunch of ducks, some goats, hedgehogs, a coonhound. I'm a stereotype. I'm a nurse by training. I own a window cleaning business. I'm not qualified to have done anything that's happened. But at the time of this story, I was getting ready to head into work, and I had the opportunity to come up to shoot a story with NBC in Washington. That's a top 7 market. When you have that opportunity, you should do it in person, but I was going to do it via Zoom. I was headed into work, and I thought, I have got to go to D.C. I've got to go to D.C. I've got to shoot this in person. So I called my sister who worked for United, and I got a standby ticket to fly on United. But you want to get home, and you've got to get there. So I thought, I'm switching. I need a ticket. So I got a ticket on American. But then I was going to fly out at 6 o'clock, I think it was, out of Reagan National, and I do not like getting up at 0:30. So I switched to an afternoon flight. So I'm not going. I start off at United, I switch to American, and then I switch to another flight. So I get up there, I shoot the story with NBC in Washington. It ends up being the first of maybe 24 Guardrail-related stories that they ran. That first story, it also ended up on NBC National News. I was able to share my daughter's story and concerns with roadside safety hardware nationally. On the return flight, I got to the gate and I recognized the chief of staff of my congressman. I walked over and there was my congressman, John Duncan. Then a fellow came up and he dropped his attaché, and I caught it and I said, "Congressman Fleischman, my daughter died in your district." That's quite an introduction. Now, there's only 40 seats on this flight, and this is a plane I'm not scheduled to be on. And I'd actually switched 3 different times. I didn't know. But I sat down. I sat next to a lady, the congressman. One was to my left, I believe, and one was directly behind me. So the poor lady next to me got a very loud dissertation on roadside safety hardware for close to an hour and a half with 2 congressmen listening in. Congressman Duncan went on to just be a huge help with the situation. But the amazing thing is, so there's only 40 seats. I end up sitting virtually right next to, there's me on that plane, 2 U.S. congressmen, and the chief of staff for another one. But what truly makes it amazing is that Congressman Duncan, at the time, was the vice chairman of the Transportation Committee of the United States Congress, and the chairman of the Committee on Highways for the United States Congress. I was able to share my daughter's story with 2 U.S. congressmen on a plane that I was not scheduled to be on. If you can explain that, apart from the sovereignty of God, I'm willing to listen.